Late at night, got a good cup of tea, we're ready to escape the dungeon. Oh wait, I shouldn't be happy and excited. It's miserable in here, it's nasty, it's gross and grim, and we shouldn't be feeling good about ourselves. Welcome guys, we return. Now this guy we never spoke to twice before. He said we're all equals. What was his response? You're in with us, which means you're in here for a long, long time. You're lucky, you get to die slow. If they were going to kill you quick, you'd be down in the oubliette. So, oubliette's an amazing word. We're going to hear Fran say it out loud. I think it's like, is it just French for prison, specifically? I don't know whether it's a specific kind of prison. I don't know. There's so many words for prisons, like jail and dungeon and jail, you know, the English spelling that we learnt about before, G-A-O-L. Anyway, so welcome, guys. It's actually been a little while since I did the previous main part, and the reason for that is I just did a bestiary part. So, if you look at my clan primer here, you'll see we've actually gone through the whole bestiary here, except the fire main. So I'll read this one out here for you all now. This was the boss we just fought, and it's in its own boss section. Look at that badass looking thing. When man first began to use fire, not as a sacred object, but as a weapon of war, it angered a great spirit of flame, this appearing among us as a stallion, cloaked in searing fire, its body of a heat impossible to measure. When, every once in a rare while, the Garamscythe waterway fills with a thick fog, it is said that the fire main is galloping its ways and channels, its fiery rage boiling the waters into steam. Now, isn't that cool? I kind of wish that we had found a book on the floor, like on our first visit when it was just Varn fighting rats. And we read about that and we're like, oh wow, that's interesting. Then you go into the room later and you see the mist and you're like, oh my god, it's the fire main. That would have been really impactful, right? Unfortunately, we only get the information second. But yeah, you might have wondered, why is a fiery horse in a, like, sewery, wet area? Well, there you go. They do give you an explanation. All these entries are incredible. The video is about 20 minutes long. I really recommend just turn this one off, go to the playlist view, and it's the previous part. So if you missed it, that is, and if you want. So anyway, we are going to be traveling onwards now and figuring out how to get out. So, first things first. Well, hold on. What is first? Well, there's an exit over here with a save crystal, and I haven't saved for ages. My playtime is going to jump up real hard. While I'm editing and all that kind of stuff, I just leave the game on paused. So, I don't know whether the playtime is ticking up the whole time. Supposedly, we've already been 6 hours. Which is amazing. The truth is, to be honest, guys, I consider us still to be in the intro of the game. I think by the end of this part, I would say we are out of the intro. Damn swine, what's he talking about? Spy hunting. What gives him the right? You're right there, number 281. That Deguza swine thinks his manure's made of gold. Alright, we've heard about this Deguza dude a couple of times. Who the hell is this? We were told to listen. Look, take my advice and stay out of there. Huh, so what, is this the way down to the oubliette? We're in the stockade for now. Let's head on down. Man, Nalbina, you have changed, eh? This does not look nice at all anymore, not like when we saw this as Rex. I wonder if Varn is going through a bit of a profound moment here, knowing his brother's history. I'd be concerned here. Look at this place. Little bit of blood.
No, don't!
Oh, good job, Varn.
He was defenseless.
You
Great, now we've got no items and we're unconscious. Bit of trivia, by the way. This was the first cutscene they ever made for 12. This was like a prototype cutscene for them. This was the first one they ever did, no joke. These Sikh don't seem to be able to speak at all. Look at all that saliva coming out of his mouth. Ugh.
Something stinks in here, all right? I've changed my mind. This is no dungeon, it's a sty. I said you're the one that stinks, Hamshanks. Hear me now?
Also, apparently Balthea's lip sync is totally weird somewhere around here.
You all right, Vaughn?
Oh, so look, Han Solo is a good guy after all. Alright, so welcome to one of my biggest disappointments of the vanilla game, and something I've been very happy to retune. So, we're unarmed. I like the idea of a whole sequence here where we get to fight and slowly get our gear back and stuff. Turns out, the only thing that we'll really get is this one fight. So you get one fight where you're unarmed and you figure out how to win anyway. And yes, in the vanilla balance, this is like awful. You just win in like a couple of attacks and it's like, why did you take all my gear away? What was the point? Well, don't worry guys, we're going to have a real experience here. This is, again, a little bit of a puzzle. Now, we do not have Libra for this one, so be cautious, but you can look at the size. Let's get a better visual angle here. You can look at the size of the guys. It's a simple trick. The smallest one, Gwitch, has the least health. Then there's a medium-sized one over here, Galido, and then Daguza, who, if we've been paying attention to the story, we'll know is like the big boss bastard guy. So what we're going to want to do is finish off Gwitch first. Gwitch will actually use heal. So if you don't aim Gwitch down first, it will heal the other ones. Special thing about Daguza, Daguza has counter attack. So whenever you attack him, he punches you back in addition to his regular attacks. So if you aim him down, you're going to get a game first. You're going to get a game over because you're going to be taking basically double hits from him plus the hits from the other guys, and they're going to be getting healed. Galido is like kind of in the middle. There's different ways you can do this, but I'm going to aim down Gwitch first. Now, the other thing is we're going to use blind. I think they're all immune to poison. I don't think you can poison them. I kind of want to try, but I'm going to go with the blind first, right? So, and you're not going to get long. So here's the important thing, guys. There's no Phoenix Downs, there's no potions, there's no cure. This is it, all right? We are on a time limit. If they beat us up, we do get game over. This is a very real fight, and it's a cool little puzzle. So, you want to make sure every move you make is the right one. I'm going to go to blind Daguza first. Actually, I think I'll blind Galido first. Galido, you'll notice that both of those guys have, like, tree trunk weapons, and they're both actually different models. But they hit kind of harder than the other guys. So I'm going to blind Galido first. In the meantime, I'm going to have Balthea steal. So make sure you steal from Gwitch first. Because, and again, Square Enix designed all of this. Then they just invalidated it. You can steal potions. So there is a way to heal in the fight. And you do want to use it. You want to use these potions to heal. So with that done, I'm going to follow up with a Knot of Rust, which is, as an item, is instant. And we're going to throw that. And then Vaughn, did he land the blind, or is he in the middle of casting it? I think he's in the middle of casting it. We are going to blind Daguza next as well on Vaughn. Oh no, we missed. That sucks. So if we miss too often, I think we will get a game over here. All right, there you go. There's one blind. Try again over here. Now, Balthea needs to actually focus Gwitch, not the wrong target, so... Oh my god, did he just throw a potion already? No. We want to be careful about our gambits. In fact, I'll probably turn our gambits off on this one. So just keep focusing Gwitch. Let's see what Vaughn gets. Does he get the blind? Okay, good. That's 2 blinds. Now we will have both of them focus fire Gwitch down. So here we go. And there's 2 potions available for stealing here. So we're going to beat him up. Now, you can combo with unarmed. Unarmed is interesting in 12. There is a monk class, monk job in International Zodiac. I think it's called the monk. But in theory, you could do like unarmed. But overall, it's usually just better to do weapons, so you don't get to play with it too much. There is a license in the vanilla game which improves the strength of your unarmed attacks called Brawler. And it's actually really special in that when you give a player Brawler, like, for example, if we go to the jobs board here, on Classic, as far as the original PS2 is concerned, one of these has Brawler. If you move all the way over and grab it, the character that picks it up, it actually changes their unarmed animations. You have, like, regular punches, but then when you give someone Brawler, they get all this new fancy stuff, like Fran. Fran's not with us right now. She's missing. We have no idea where she is. But she can do, like, backflips and crazy kicks and amazing stuff with Brawler. In this version of the game, everyone actually already has Brawlers, so you are seeing those flashy animations as it is, which is pretty nice. And that's why Vaan in the background there, you might have seen, did a really cool, like, spin heel kick. Again, it's like the combat animation thing that I was talking about before. Everyone gets an interesting new animation for their unarmed, just as they all get interesting animations for specific weapons. It's crazy. So yeah, and you can see that when people combo, they get interesting animations too. So enjoy this, guys. I don't really have too many plans to do unarmed combat, honestly, very much in the game. Maybe we'll look back at it later. But here is a forced encounter with it, which I think is great. So we do have one potion. There's a second we can collect, but I can't remember which guy has it. Also, we don't know his health right now. All right, we got Gil from Galido there, so I think it's Deguza's the big bad guy, Deguza. He's going to have our second potion, hopefully. Unless we just got kind of unlucky or whatever. So we got to be careful. Balthea has about 60 health. I like keeping people low, right? You guys might think this is unnecessary risk, but keeping us low means our combo chance is higher. See, and we might even counter every now and then. Right, Balthea's in critical, so... And I'm going to have to make a choice here. I will go for Balthea because he has higher max health of 255. Ooh, careful, Vaan. Now, what we can do is run around the arena a little bit here as well so that Balthea gets more attacks in, hopefully. Go on. Nail him. There we go. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Nice. Okay. All right. Vaan can keep fleeing. If we can steal a potion from Deguza right now, we might be able to heal him up. Because Deguza is focused on Balthea, not Vaan, right? I think he is. Yeah, Deguza's an idiot. So, did we get one? No. Did we both fail? Now, this guy is only a threat because he counters a lot. So... we'll do this. Also, Vaan, in fact, I won't steal with Vaan here. We will slow. Do we land it? Remember, slow only has 85% accuracy. Alright, everyone's missing their steals, but that's fine. Just keep going. Balthea's nice and tanky, as long as he doesn't retarget. Oh, it says he has nothing to steal. I guess we got Gil again or something. That's a shame. So, Vaan can stay back and throw knots of rust. That will keep him safe. Balthea needs to start attacking properly. So, you see, Deguza isn't going to counterattack. Sorry, the camera's kind of fiddly in a lot of this stuff. Deguza's not going to counterattack these ranged throws. And we do hit harder with the knots of rust, so that's why those chests back there are good. See? We've got all these cool interactions. Vaan only has 4 health. I hope he doesn't die. He died earlier. Alright, we're now out of items, so we move on in. And I could just leave Vaan back now. Let's chance a poison spell. I think they are immune to poison, honestly. A lot of the coolest stuff in the game is immune to poison because it's like HP proportional damage. So yeah, he was immune. That's a shame. He's got there's literally nothing Vaan can do here. Maybe we just leave him back because he's just gonna get countered and killed. And Balthea can beat the crap out. Oh god, he's going for it. Oh god, 5-hit combo, 6, 7. Wow, one of them got dodged in the middle as well. Did you see that? Oh, he countered but missed. Nice. All right, Vaan has got the bloodlust, so he's going for it. No, there you go. That's the counter. All right, we got unlucky with the potions here, so this is it pretty much. Does Deguza die? With no Libra, we just don't know what his health is. Watching for that HP critical. He isn't really that much healthier than the other guy, but he does have Protect, which means that he's a little bit tankier. I think we've lost this, actually. Unbelievable. I actually played this pretty well, I thought, but we did get a bit unlucky with the potion. Man. And the other thing is, I've won this on like 0 health before, by the way. Go on, give a good combo. Give him a good combo, Balthea. No! Oh, we lost! Deguza beat us! I can't believe it! Oh! Alright, round 2. Oh my god, we did 255 with the Knot of Rust there. Yeah, just by the way, Knots of Rust have like variant damage on them. And they actually have another very sneaky mechanic going on, which I'll talk about later, in which they're actually making something else stronger. But yeah, wow, we got a huge hit on Gwitch there. I actually wish that that hit had been on someone else. That was worth like 10 attacks. That was crazy. Also, by the way, the other problem I had here, we didn't just get unlucky, but I still had Balthier gambiting to use a potion at below 50% health, which actually means we wasted a ton of the heals. Does that make sense? So yeah, actually, I've turned that off now, and we can be a little bit better. Like, here I haven't potioned yet. We got Gil again. I think this middle guy only ever gives you Gil. But yeah, so when Varn gets truly low, that is when I will have him potion up. Like, you can probably eat one more hit, and then we'll potion. All right, 33. We can probably go a bit more. The timing's good, though. The timing's good. So Balthier will potion up Varn. 177, so Varn is now back up to full. And we can knock this guy out. In fact, let's go for another Knot of Rust here. 38. Let's just try and finish him off, shall we? So we can focus on this other guy. If we get lucky, you never know. Oh, that was 90. That was not bad, that one. Alright, good. So we're down to the last guy. Pretty healthy. If I can swap aggro off of Balthier now, that would be really good. We haven't stolen from this guy either, so if we get the potion from this dude, there we go, we get the potion. So Balthier is the target, and there's, you know, so as soon as he's critical, that's fine. We'll potion up, because Balthier's got so much health that won't actually overheal him. And so now we can just beat the crap out of this guy, and we should actually be able to beat him. You can see some really fun little, I mean, the other thing I can do is I can try to cast slow on it. Slow is kind of annoying, because he's obviously got high vitality. It misses quite a lot. Oh, there you go. We got it. So this guy has Protect. Shell, the other one, the one that resists against magic, that actually halves the chance that you would get Protect or, Slow or any kind of debuff on. So Shell protects you against the chance for debuffs as well. So, but he doesn't have Shell, so that's good. Anyway, yeah, we'll beat him up. You can see some really interesting interactions where, like, we attack and he counters, but he misses the counter, and then we parry the next one. It's crazy how dynamic this really can be if you just watch. It's very sophisticated, honestly, what the combat system's doing, if you actually give it a chance to breathe and play out. I had a crazy moment just now, but it won't be in the video. I'll cut it out for the sake of time. So yeah, big tanky bastard. Yeah, I love the idea of like a 16-hit combo. Oh, by the way, the maximum combo, does anyone want to guess what number is the maximum combo? Well, it's 12. Yeah, 12. That number appears once again. I don't know whether the devs actually were really careful about that design, or they just like the number 12 or what. But there you go, down he goes. He must have been so close to death last time. So close. We have saved you, fellow prisoners, from your bully.
That's a fresh one, that.
Not faces I'd seen before.
Overall, ready?
What do these guys want? Surely not us.
Great. They just don't give up, do they?
What have you done, Balthier, to get this bounty on your head?
Now is looking like a good time for us to leave.
Through the oubliette, there's a way out. Only
you sense the mist. Then we'll need weapons.
What did you call me? Say that again.
What? You couldn't hear? I merely said that a lot of you are incompetent fools. If you've the Sky Pirate in your hands, where is he?
You'd have done better, Bagamnon. By your own words, it was the Imperial army who caught this sky pirate of yours. We've done your job for you. We don't require the assistance of filthy headhunters. The Empire will restore order here.
Eh? What's that you say now? Maybe I'll wet my blade on you before I kill Balthier.
That's enough, Bagamnan.
A judge.
Judge?
The self-proclaimed guardians of law and order in Arcadia. They're the elite guard of House Solidor, which effectively makes them the commanders of the Imperial army. If you ask me, they're more executioners than judges. Not a friendly lot, at any rate. What are they doing here?
The Emperor is willing to overlook race for his more talented servants. However, those that do not show respect will receive none in kind.
Your Honor.
You travel freely through our lands because the Emperor wills it. Am I correct? Where is the captain?
We have him in solitary, Your Honor. We're ready to begin our interrogation.
This does not concern you, bounty hunter.
The captain.
He's in here somewhere. Find him.
Watchy, that way!
It's going this way.
What's that?
Time for the hare to follow the fox.
The magics binding the door to the oubliette are quite strong. Too strong even for my talents.
That's why we'll get them to open it for us.
How is going deeper into this
What's
place?
wrong? You don't trust her? Fiera's noses are sharp. If she says there's a way out, there's a way out.
So I like that subtle little, like, reassuring smile. Also, we're totally in their eye line there. We were so close to the eye line. Wow, there's a lot to talk about there. First of all, they're talking about this mist thing. What is mist, guys? I mean, we don't really know. Something magic related, it seems. And just to be clear, Fran, we heard people talking about demons in the dark and all kinds of horrible stuff underneath. Are we really going deeper down? And yeah, so Balthier's done something. He's got bounty on his head, and these guys will not relent.
Look.
Ah, the prison repository of wrested relics and raiments.
So, our things are in here?
That's what I said.
And yeah, how weird is this? You walk 2 inches forwards, and you get your stuff. You recover your lost items and equipment. They give you 1 fight. I'm sure they had some cool plan. They might have even been playing with a stealth mechanic, which I'll talk about in just a moment. And it's just kind of gone. Look, we even get the map. Everything's done. It's like, it's over. Now, the thing is, if you really think about how this has all been structured the past couple of parts, as soon as we went into the sewers on Van, we haven't been able to go to do anything open world. And we're still in the thick of it, really. I wonder if it's just that they got feedback this section of the game was too long. And so they looked to make a cut somewhere, and this was where it was. A section of the Nalbina dungeon story was removed, which is a shame because you kind of miss out. But there you go. So we get our stuff back, including when we look at our key items, the goddess's magicite. A piece of magicite you found in the treasury of the royal palace of Rabanasta. It must be extremely valuable. So we managed to grab that. Fran and Balthier just gave that to us here, I guess. So I didn't really talk about us getting this back. Here's a really weird thing. There is a manga adaptation of this game. I'm not joking. It got cancelled in the middle of its run, so it doesn't cover the full story of the game. And I'm not sure, like, how canon the information is or how important it is. I haven't been talking about it. In that, they expand on a lot more of what's going on. They kind of make the story more complete. And honestly, a lot of the decisions they made in that manga, I kind of wish were in the main game. You guys should check it out if you're really big fans of this. But in there, they kind of talk about how those Sikh we beat up stole this magicite, and we recover it from them. In game, you just kind of get it back here. It's weird to think that the Imperials had this, and you know, they didn't realize how valuable it was or whatever. It just got thrown in with all this other stuff. And you know, it's weird. I had an old memory of this game when I was younger. Do you remember Balthea kind of weirdly walked over to Penelo and gave her his handkerchief as like a token? I honestly thought that the plot detail was that he had hidden the Magicite in that. And he had slipped it to Penelo, basically, because he knew if the guards found it, it was way too valuable. Honestly, that was my memory, but that is not the story. He just gave her the handkerchief, and we'll deal with that again later. So, we get our stuff back, right, guys? Oh, I have a lot of incentive to open these chests. Oh, look at these chests. Don't they look really good? Wait, hold on. Yeah, guess what one's a friggin' forbidden chest? I actually can't remember, but one of these is forbidden. You were never meant to open it in the original version of the game. Disgusting square! I mean, what are they doing? I mean, honestly, a chest with an elixir. A chest right in front of a character that everybody's going to go to. And now here? I mean, God, they were cunning about that. We do get a new accessory here. The tourmaline ring. Actually is very good for what we were just playing. Immune to poison and sap. My God, wouldn't this have been nice just a moment ago with all of those rats running around. Well, we'll hold on to it. We never know how much poison we'll be dealing with. We're actually going to be dealing with a very difficult dungeon in a moment. So maybe it'll be useful there. I'm not sure. Obviously, we don't have the license for it right now. And we haven't really gained much LP yet either, because all we've done is take out 3 Seek. I like the little balance in the story there as well, how they have the Seek beating the crap out of a banger. And then they have a really badass banger come in, this guy that's hunting Balthea, kind of reaffirming that the banger can be cool too. And then, of course, they all get cowed by this judge. So, remember, they were described as the royal guard of House Solidor. House Solidor is the Emperor's house, all right? It's Vayne Solidor, and he's the Emperor's son, all right? They are Solidors, so yes, if you are a judge, specifically appointed to that house, you're a big shot, really. And it would seem that that's our first appearance of one in the story. What they're doing here, though, I mean, come on, we're just scum around. What did he say? A captain?
There are more turnkeys than cut purses down here. I've had my fill of chains. Let's tread lightly, shall we?
Okay, let's tread lightly, shall we? A very rare example of a stealth, in fact, the only example, maybe, of a stealth section in the game. Do we have our Libra modes back? We do. We should have everything, right? Where's my Libra modes? Here they are. 9 of them. So let's give ourselves Libra. I love that little icon there. Right, so you can see how they're actually properly patrolling here. Well, if you move behind them, they won't see you. This is one of the only places in the whole game where the devs didn't break all of their sight and vision mechanics and stuff by using sound and all these other detections. Basically, what happens in the game is there's 3 stats. They'll see you through sight, they'll see you through sound, or they'll hear you, and that just means they'll run over if they hear your footsteps, which basically just means if they're near you at all, they'll see you. And there's a thing called life detect, which is just they see you no matter what. And I'll explain why that's there later. But basically, yeah, it means that you never really get to experience this. But in this one area, Imperials have all of their stats properly set up, so you can sneak around them if you want. Really good area for poison, by the way. Poison is excellent here. You can actually over-aggro real bad, especially if you're playing without a minimap like me. You've got to be very careful. All up on these ledges and stuff around, there are a lot of enemies. Thankfully, Fran is a bit of a boss, to be honest with you. And she's slaughtering them. The only issue is she will run out of MP in a moment. Especially spamming Thunder in this way. I mean, I kind of used Thunder for the Fire main boss. I wasn't thinking of doing it for much else. This is a little bit of a labyrinth area. There's actually a lot of chests that you can get in this section. And they do have a chance for good gear. We're in what's called the Black Watch right now. Cool area name, isn't it? Just a second ago was the Confiscatory. The arena. And the stockade was where we just started. So yeah, there's that guy up there. And I'll move around the corner. Now, there is a weird thing. Now, I've personally seen this poking around in the files. We're fighting marksmen. and hoplites. If you watched the bestiary video just a moment ago on the playlist, you will have remembered they talked about these different varieties of Imperials. Weird thing, there is in here something called an Imperial pilot. But there's only one, and I don't know where he is. I know he's in the files, but I've never actually been able to see him. I guess he might be something of a mini-boss or something. A pilot, you'd think he's riding an airship or something, right? It would be pretty cool to get an air cutter remora come back at this point in the story, because we're all quite strong. We're probably as good as Rex and Basch were way back when. And so it'd be nice to sort of reprise that. I always like bosses being reprised as regular enemies and stuff like that. But so there you see, we were standing behind that guy, and we actually got the first hit because he was facing the other way. Kind of like ambushing people in previous Final Fantasies. As long as Fran has no MP, it's a bit of a problem. Also, that save crystal we were at a second ago, we can't actually get back to, if I remember rightly. So do be cautious. You know, you're out of luck if you're not being very careful here. And in fact, sorry, no, Balthier, I didn't want you to do that. I wanted to go to your gambits. Let's toggle that back on so that he keeps people topped up. We should have plenty of potions available. You notice I haven't really had to buy any of these supplies. The game's been good enough, as long as you occasionally steal, to just give me all that stuff. So down here is kind of some extra stuff. Hold on. I think the way forward is right here. See that guy, that marksman? You'd think he might be the pilot, but no. Oh no, never mind. Sorry, I thought that this was the... Alright, that Magus is probably who we should have focused. You can get gambits later that allow you to focus on people with the highest MP or magic power. And in fact, you know, Vaan does have the silence spell. Oh no, does he have silence? Didn't we did pick silence up, but he doesn't have the license for it, does he? Where is black magic? Oh no, it's not him that's going to be able to cast it. I think it's Fran that will get it. Yeah, look, that's black magic 3. So we'll collect poison and blind for her now. She can do that. She can cover herself. And soon she'll get silence. If we had got that before the fire main, we could use it there. But you could like set up silence on high magic strength, and then you make sure that those enemies won't really be hurting you, which is always a good idea. Anyway, okay, so the loot just changed. I think it's an appropriate time for me to finally talk about this mechanic. It's been evident in all the videos so far. Enemy chaining. So there is kind of a grind mechanism going on here. It's a really interesting system with kind of a weird balance. Lots of weird, like, extra layers to it. As you kill enemies, obviously they drop items. If you kill the same... Hold on, let's go back and have a quick look here in the bestiary, if we return to the Imperial. If you kill the same genus over and over again, so he's Imperial. If you kill the same type of enemy, basically, if you're killing only toads, or if you're killing only people, or if you're killing only Sikh or whatever, you can chain them together. And the higher the chain, it starts upgrading your loot. So, watch very closely when this swordsman dies. And we no longer have Libra, so we can't know when that is, but I'm sure it won't be very, very far away. Look at this lightning. I love lightning, man. It's so good. You see it says above our health there, 10 chain. See that? We kill another, it will go to 11 chain. As you build the chain, eventually the chain will tier up, so to speak. And when that happens, the quality of the loot that's dropping improves. The bags get swapped to a better version. And you get more items, and you get rare items more regularly. And if you chain it up again, it gets even better. You chain it up again, you can even start getting perks, like loot will start healing you, or loot will start giving you MP back. So it's kind of a system in place for people who want to grind on certain enemies. And it's a way for you to, if you want a rare drop, actually take control into your own hands and ensure you will get that rare drop by being tactical about who you kill and how you kill them. And setting your gambits up so that you say only fight undead, or you only fight flying things, or whatever. So your allies won't kill the wrong target. In truth, because of the way that the gambit system works and stuff is a bit clunky. Now, you see how it was flashing there? Did you see it says 11 chain flashing? That's because there's a very weird mechanic, which is when you pick up loot, you actually get a penalty that slows down how soon you will get a chain upgrade, right? So if I'm killing everything and picking up all their loot instantly, it takes me ages to level the chain up. It doesn't happen very quickly. But if I kill all the enemies in a chain and I don't collect the loot, you chain up really fast. So like we've got a chain of 12 at the moment, right? We've killed 12 Imperials in a row. There's the 12th one. If I hadn't picked up any loot from them whatsoever, we would be getting really good stuff dropping right now. There'd be like golden bags dropping because we would have leveled up our chain tier faster. We'd be at a higher quality already. So you kind of get punished for grabbing loot instantly. If you want to build a very high chain level and get the good stuff as fast as possible, you got to kind of hold back. Kill things, but don't pick up their loot. There you go. Look, he's potioning himself. They do fun stuff like that. I think they throw dark motes at you as well. Just leave the loot on the floor, and that way, you know, you level up. And so that's kind of a tactical decision you have to make if you're really going for the grind. Now, back to the flashing. You saw when the number was flashing. What that means is you are free to collect loot and we won't punish you. So, yeah, there's this whole system going on where it's like sometimes you can pick up loot early, sometimes you can't. There are mods and things that tweak it. I'm actually playing completely vanilla as far as all of that stuff is concerned here. I just want to give you guys the normal experience of the game. Also, I don't want to mess with like the economy, and which I've mentioned before, I actually think is extremely well balanced in the game. Right, so the exit. To tell you the truth, most of the time here I was just wandering around so that, here you go. I had time to say what I wanted to say. And then I said, oh, I was almost lost. But no. We're following them along. And yeah, we could have been sneaking the whole way here. Really. Pretty cool. Fighting's better for me, though. I want the LP. Wow, it makes sense that nobody's escaped if they have to get through that. Look at that shot. God, this judge is cool. I know he's kind of a baddie. I mean, I do want you guys to think critically about the Empire as we play. From our perspective, they're all dicks, but you do want to think about little comments like how there is democracy there and they overlook race and stuff like that. It's not as black and white of a world as you might think the game is doing. That's probably something I should have explained a long time ago. You never know how bad the Rosarians are, after all. What is this?
You have grown very thin, Basch. Less than a shadow, less than a man. Sentenced to death, and yet you live? Why?
To silence Hondor. How many times must I say it?
Is that all?
Why not ask Vane himself? Is he not one of your masters?
We've caught a leader of the insurgents. She's being brought from Rabanasta, the woman Amalia. Who could that be? Such a faithful hound to cling so to a falling kingdom.
Better than throwing it away.
Throwing it away, as you threw away our homeland.
Okay, these two clearly have a history. They look very similar too. You guys notice that?
Who's there?
This the place?
The mist is flowing through this room. It must be going somewhere.
You're no Imperials. Please, you must get me out.
It's against my policy to speak with the dead, especially when they happen to be Kingslayers.
I did not kill him.
Is that so? Huh. Glad to hear it.
Please, get me out. For the sake of Dalmasca.
Dalmasca? What do you care about Dalmasca? Everything that's happened is because of you! Everyone that's died. Every single one. Even my brother. You killed my brother!
Quiet. The guards will hear.
I'm dropping it.
Fran, you nutter!
Pirates without a sky.
I love that line. I don't know. Pirates without sea, without sky. Oh boy, what a cutscene. And yes, we do survive that fall. Oh look, it's very familiar, guys. This is like when we crashed with the motorbike. A new dungeon. Good job out there.
Spare us your quiddities.
Yeah, but he's
A traitor, I know. Stay here and fight if you want. If you can walk, let's go.
You're taking him with us?
We could use another sword arm.
And you have it.
Man, Vaughn is pissed. Okay, here we go. So, Basch, quiddities, by the way. What a word, quiddities. Welcome to the Barheim passage beneath the Nalbina fortress. There's some great little lore about this place. And we have a new companion. So we've really got to unpack what the hell just happened there. Basch clearly knew that judge. And in fact, they talked about having a shared homeland. So here's a little fact about Basch they haven't really made clear just yet, is he's not actually from Dalmasca at all. He's from another place, the Republic of Landis, which nowadays is long gone. Perhaps that makes it easier to understand why he'd killed the king, maybe? And he was not executed. It was said he was executed, but he's still alive. Unbelievable. And this traitor that killed the king, and look at the way his necklace moves as we move. That's kind of cool little touch. He's claiming he didn't do it. I mean, who wouldn't? You want to remember as well, he said, I live to silence Ondor. To silence Ondor. Now, remember, Ondor is the guy that was reading the book at the start. We haven't met Ondor. He suggested to the Dalmascans to lay down their arms, and it was all futile and stuff. Which, again, I kind of said, does that cover his own neck with the Arcadians? And then there is a chance he was just lying to the Arcadians. He doesn't care about Ondor much, and he's living for something else. But what? It's kind of funny we've ended up next to Basch because it was Rex who retold the story of Basch killing the king. And hold on, what did Rex actually see happen again at the start of the game? Well, there's a chest here. I think there's actually a chance for 2 chests to spawn here. But there's a ton of gil. Now, that's really good because we're going to get a very useful shop. Turns out we are not the only guy that fell down here. I love this. This is wild, right? Check this out. I get the very, very real sensation of being very deep underground. But look, there's a dude. Burrow. Don't get many visitors down here. Come scavenging for odds and ends, have ya? I don't reckon you saw whatever caused that terrible racket just now, eh? Come crashing straight down the stairs? That was the only way out. Guess it's time to start looking for a back door out of this place. What about you? You plan on poking around these tunnels? Best go prepared. I piece together what scraps of this, that, and the other I find into all manner of things. It may be I have something you need. Now, I don't know what kind of master craftsman this dude is because he has an incredible amount of stuff. This merchant is kind of the first big upgrade to stuff you can get in the game. So, first, we can sell. We haven't sold for ages. This is all our garum scythe stuff and everything. So, the windstones, the rat pelts, the fire stones, these fish scales we got from Ichthians. The oily surface of this scale gives off a peculiar sheen. Both the scale and its oil are known to find buyers at market. Bat fangs. This fang's sharp tip is perfect for rending flesh and sucking blood. Small serrations down the side of the tooth complete the carnage. Horns, a spiral horn. While the material of the horn is hard, its hollowness makes it prone to shattering. As such, these horns have lost favor among artificers of late. Some water stones again. Glass jewels we got from the ghost, 3 of. A foggy, dull glass bead. It is said that when a soul leaves its mortal frame, its former burdens remain in this world as the crystallized tears of clouds. Oh, that's so gorgeous. It's like poetry sometimes. 3 demon eyeballs too. Wow, we got a good amount of stuff here. Foul, fiendish being's eyeball, reeking of dark magics. It seems to be watching, searching you for a weakness born of some small misdeed. Oh, nice. And look, we got 8 grand. Wow, that's so perfect. We got exactly 8 grand. So much more than the 150 you started with, Vaughn. Look, we're on our way up. Now, you can almost guarantee the bazaar will upgrade. Turns out we just got this one thing. I would have thought more would be there. Adventuring is hard on the eyes. Treat them right, lest your aim suffer the consequences. Containing 5 doses of eye drops. This set is sure to fit the bill. Very nice. Really, really appreciate that because we did need eye drops. Now, there is more at the merchant. I guess we'll just split that away for a second. Normally I get supplies I need often caravans come through Nalbina, but Barheim Passage is known to have certain items not easily come by. I knew it weren't safe, but, well, here I am. So, hold on. I get supplies often caravans that come through Nalbina. He came into the passage because there's treasures in here? Does that sound a little familiar? Well, anyway. The gate switchboard. Switch is covered with rust. We can try to hit it. But nothing happens. The power to the gate has been cut. So we want to get through this door. The gate is far too heavy to force. There must be a switch or lever somewhere to operate it. And indeed, we are going to be playing with electricity as a mechanic. This dungeon is either really easy if you get on a roll, or it's brutally difficult. Because there is a mechanic with the lights. So up here you can see there's a time-worn device. We can try to hit the switch. And Van says, I guess it's not working. Balthier says, well, let's have a look. And the fuse is blown. That would explain why there's no power reaching the switch. If the wiring is any indication, I'd say this is a central power relay of some sort. As it stands, I doubt we'll find much running around down here. So now that we've interacted with that, and if you're playing really efficient, you can do that straight away. But once you've done that, if you speak to Burrow again, he'll notice with the new information. What's that? No power in the passage? Can't say I'm surprised. Tunnels as old as these. This gate ain't working none either. Here we go. Try putting this in that contraption up the stairs. We get a tube fuse. Made that tube fuse from parts I found down in these very tunnels. It's good as any you'll find and better than most. Mark my words. So now when we return, we can enter the fuse and get the power on. So while the power is on, there is light. While there is light, there are no demons and scary things that are actually really hard to fight and swarm you. So the game is to keep the charge at 100 at all costs. This is genuinely a real problem if you get caught behind. So that's fine for now. We can hit this gate switchboard. And the gate will open. Voila. But you'll see it cost us charge. I see you got the gate open, or be able to look for all manner of ways out now. While the lights are on, the passage ain't so bad. But let the charge drop, and some fierce beats start coming out in the dark. Opening the gate probably took the charge down some. It ought to show you, the gauge ought to show you how much is left. About 30% to operate something the size of these gates, I'd say. Who knows how many more of these gates they got down here. You look for these switchboards, you ought to be able to make your way out. So, I would really recommend saving before you go ahead with this. But I want to talk a little bit about electricity for a second and what this is. Basically, this is an underground railway that used to supply the fortress. But then people invented airships and stopped using it, so it fell into disarray. So, if you watched the bestiary episode, you will have known that in the bestiary, sometimes, what was it, the stealing, I think? Well, here's airships. We can read about airships. Airborne craft developed by Mughals centuries ago. They float by the power of skystone and are given direction and speed by means of propeller. Currently, they are one of the most popular forms of transport in Evilis, and the sky routes are comfortably the busiest of the highways linking the major cities. Airships range in size from private yachts to giant military warcraft. They are unable to fly in Yokt, where skystone is ineffective. We don't know about that right now. That isn't what I actually wanted to see, though. Let's see. That was the description of the Royal Palace. Well, no, this is fine. So the Royal Palace. So sometimes when you complete a bestiary entry, like the Garkamakara, by the way, I think I've been pronouncing that wrong. I'm sure people have left comments. Once you complete a bestiary entry, you can move to a new page, Sage Knowledge, and it will give you a description of areas. Now, one of the enemies we fight in here gives us a description of this place, and here's what it says. I'll clip it and put it on screen from the wiki for you guys. That this was an underground passage beneath the fortress at Nalbina. Originally a railway to carry goods into the fortress, the passage was closed with the introduction of airships as the primary means of transport. The abandoned railway line is now rife with mist and the dwelling place of many fell beasts. So that is the story. That's why this place is closed down. And in particular, electricity. There's an amazing story about electricity. This is a world with magic and, you know, electricity as we know in the real world. So why don't these people have like mobile phones and stuff? Why isn't more technology happening there? Well, they explain that with the discovery and harnessing of electricity, it was suddenly possible to operate devices of a far larger scale than ever before conceived. However, the vast quantity of solid fuel required to generate electrical power and the development of methods to artificially condense mist led to the latter supplanting the former as the dominant usable energy source in Evilis. Only the most energy-hungry devices still use electricity today. So, look, this tunnel was built at a time right before airships and right before people really figured out how to work with mist. So, this is like normal technology here. But very quickly later, people found out that magic was better, basically. And all these areas fell into ruin. And I love this. This is a lost underground railway we're about to travel through. It's such a cool, and it's now haunted, cool, creepy place. Sorry for running in circles here. So, before I go through the door, let's buy some stuff. Well, hold on. What we really need to do is buy a license for new daggers on Varn. First of all, that means that he'll actually be able to equip something in this new shop. Buy a license for a new gun or spear for Balthea. So guns are more expensive. I'll go with the spear for now, I guess. And Fran doesn't have anything. So the rest of this we'll kind of just like try and go ahead. I'm going to try to not return to this place. If you're going backwards and forwards, the lights are going to go out and you're going to have a hard time. So I'm going to try and do this all in one. First, most important, some new magics. Immobilize. Now, Varn has been able to do Immobilize for a long time. It's on Time Magic 1, but it's only now we can get it. Still, no one can cast Dark. At the bottom here is Oil. So, Oil is a green magic, which will guarantee we can proc those big fire hits. But I don't really have anyone who will be using that for now, so I'm going to ignore Oil. A lot of the other stuff we already bought. Now, there's a new Gambit tab. Some of these Gambits are good. There's a limited selection here, but I'm going to pick up Self. So that will allow us to Gambit actions that just spam on ourselves. Self status HP critical is good for later. Now, ally HP minus 40% is probably better than the 33% one. Less risky. And the rest, I think we will keep for now. As is. We don't really need any of the other ones. So, he has an armlet that will straight up make us immune to blind. Pretty good. But then there's armors. So, well, let's do weapons first. So, here's the Mage Masher. Now, this is an incredibly powerful piece of gear. This will carry us through a lot of the upcoming stuff. This is more damage than Varn's current one. But also, can you see down there, it says on-hit silence? Yeah, that's right. He will silence things as he strikes them now. So now he can blind, poison, silence the lot if he wants. We can give Fran a staff. She's been using a bow the whole time, but a staff gives her more magic strength. She doesn't have the license for it right now, but we'll pick it up. Now, here's a javelin. Well, hold on. Oh, damn, I bought that license for Balthea, but I really shouldn't have, because this guy's not selling the new spear. So whatever, we'll buy a capella just to be ready for it. A silver bow, maybe. Now, we don't have anyone using long swords right now, but we might going forward, so maybe we keep that. Remember, it was Penello using rods and poles, but she's not with us at the moment. So I think I'll leave that there. We will stock up on Phoenix. Now, you can't buy ethers, you'll notice here. But we definitely need potions. In fact, I'm going to buy probably like 1,000 gil worth of potions. And we definitely need Phoenix Downs. But Phoenix Downs are really expensive. So I'm just going to get 5. And then we can start looking at armor as a last thing. So, head guards. Both Varn and Balthea can equip. And these are generally going to give them more health, as I've explained in the past. And you can always tell whether something is already equipped or is better or worse on the top right. The E means it's already equipped. A +1 in blue or whatever means it's going to be better. That pointy hat is some good mage stuff for Fran, but she doesn't have the license just yet. This buckler is the T2 shield, but you'll notice it gives Varn more regular evade, but it takes away the magic evade. So you got a bit of a trade-off there. For that reason, I'm not actually going to buy that one. And then the blind immunity, I guess I'll pick one of those up. We still got a little bit more money. Poisoner is white magic that will keep us safe from poison. So that's probably a good choice. And then finally, I don't want to get stuck without Phoenix Downs. Phoenix Downs are good offensively as well in here, so I'm actually going to spend the rest of our money on those. I'm not joking, that's well worth it. Right, and now I think we're pretty much prepared. Having some more gambits and doing more interesting things might be nice, but yeah, this is a tricky dungeon if we are not very careful. I think I pretty much got everything set up as I want it. And I will show you guys now what the main contrivance is here, what the main challenge is. When we go through...
Hey, who turned out the lights? One of those?
I've heard of these. Mimics. They disguise themselves as all manner of things, then strike when you're least wary. Some of them have a fondness for energy, I'm told. They gorge themselves on the stuff till there's naught left.
So, what happens then?
Right.
Lights out, and it's worse in the dark. Much worse. So, let them get too close to one of those conduits, and they'll suck it dry. But don't worry, it'll give the energy back if you ask nicely. Sticking it with a sword helps too. Clock's ticking.
So that's the game. We run through killing mimics as fast as possible, which keeps the lights on. Now, here's a weird thing. I don't think I ever quite realized this. That cutscene moved us to 30 charge, right? This is so bad if this is the way that the game actually works. Now, I've done a lot of playthroughs recently, and the Barheim passage suddenly became really easy for me. So skip the cutscene. Ha! That's so bad! Come on, Square! What are you playing at? Yeah, if you watch that cutscene, you lose a whole 30% charge, and it's dark right away, and there's monsters right away. Skip the cutscene, and you stay at 60% charge, which will help you a lot. And because it means that you can kill these mimics up here nice and quick. I mean, we do have a zombie. So the zombie is undead, so it can be killed by throwing a Phoenix down on it. We'll insta-kill it. Or by throwing like a high potion. I'll show you guys that. We should do that on Balthier though, because he's going to be more efficient. So if he high potions it, see that? 2,000 damage, and it's just dead. So really nice. If you get in a tough spot, I would genuinely recommend doing that. Remember, items are instant. So, okay, so we're going to target the lowest thing. So I think we're going to go for the tiny mimic here. So yeah, they are instant. And if you have your whole team just throw a potion all at once, you'll be pretty good. Now, we need to know what these guys are weak to here. So let's quickly leave remote up. Right, so it's ice. So Blizzard is very good. Which we bought earlier, if you remember, from the extra by going out to that outpost. I think Burrow also sells Blizzard, so you can pick it up there if you want. But don't have Fran using Thunder. It's just going to kill her MP, and she needs to really work on her MP here. She needs to hold on to it. Again, this is why equipping her with the Firefly is very good here, because this is quite a long slog. And yeah, she'll heal these things. You don't want her healing them. You want her hitting them with their weakness, which is the Blizzard. Also, they're sapping this conduit, as you can see. And what that means is that they heal from it and keep the charge going. But once they die, watch the charge. They'll give you 30% every time you do it. The lights come on, and you should be all right to keep moving. And so that's what I'm going to try and do here. That 30% right at the start, that's crazy. That gets you well ahead. So we started the Lightworks. We're in the Op Sector 29 right now. And that's what we'll be dealing with on the next part. I find this dungeon more than most so immersive. Also, yeah, she AoEs with their weakness, so she's really good here. I find this dungeon so immersive, man. Just like imagining people... There's something about abandoned areas that once were really populated and lots of people hung around. Especially if you see them sunk underwater or something, like that Egyptian city people found recently. That stuff's just so captivating to me. Anyway, I will end the part, but let's get to the doorway here. The doorway will be an auto-save for us, which means we get to, you know, close it down when I go to edit, basically in a second. But it also means the auto-saves replace each other. If you get deep in here and you end up with no Phoenix Downs and no potions and no nothing, and you don't have a proper save, you're screwed. Also, yeah, you can see how if Vaan gets enough attacks, he always has silence up. That's how strong the Mage Masher is. Eventually, it will stop doing enough damage to really justify, and you'll go back to using the regular silence spell again. But for this little section, it's definitely really worthwhile. And look at that, we got 100 charge. Really good. So, I will see you guys on the next part as we descend the Great Eastern Passage with the traitor Basch in tow. Well, he seems to have another version of events, but we'll see.